Matt, you said coming into the season you wanted to see this team become a better passing team, and if they become a better passing team, they become a better shooting team. Are you seeing the sort of offensive savvy developing that you'd like to see from the experienced team there?
I think, a lot of our threes were just, rotations and moving the ball, and then those guys obviously overdoing some things in the post. When you have the weapons like Travion Williams and Zach Edey, it's hard. Just like it's hard for us to simulate the way they play and the way they move the ball in practice, we try our best, but it is hard. That's an adjustment for us. This was a great game for us to play because they're so different than anybody else. But they have the same thing with our size. And so then when you have somebody like Travion that can pass the ball so well, it really puts people into a bind. But I thought our guys made good decisions, that they moved the basketball. It was great to see those guys step up and make shots.
Coach, how much of a spark did Isaiah's three-pointers make in the first half? I believe they cut it to 4, and then he had back-to-back threes. And then what did he show during the preseason and the offseason that allowed him to move into the starting lineup?
Yeah, well, he's played well. There's a lot of guys on our team that come off the bench that could be starters, and just being solid, not turning the ball over, knocking down shots, and kind of playing his role. Like when you're in that role, and you're just trying to kind of play off our size and some other guys on our team. Sasha Stefanovic gets a lot of attention for his ability to move and shoot. Jay Nivey gets a lot of attention for his ability to drive the ball and his athleticism. And now you have great size on your front line. You end up being open a lot. And so like having a guy right there that can knock down shots just keeps everybody honest. Now if you want to take him away too, that's going to really help with our spacing. But he worked hard. We talked about how he played. At the end of the year last year, the second half of the Big Ten season, he really did some good things for us, but yet his minutes were more limited at that time. You get into a season, sometimes some things just get set, and he kept working. He stayed in the spring and the summer and the fall, and he's put in time, and he's a great piece of our puzzle.
Any reaction to how you handle things defensively tonight, or is it something you need to look at the film at a little bit?
Well, when you make shots, you can set your defense and it makes it easier defensively. But we obviously had lapses. We had a couple guys that struggled guarding them. I thought for the most part, our guys collectively did a pretty good job. There's, we had, just some attention to detail sort of things. But I thought in the second half we were much better than the first half. I thought we got caught up a little bit in the motion of the game. We'd have good runs, and then all of a sudden, then they would have a run right back at you. But it was more of our breakdown that led to their runs. But it's obviously from my perspective. But I thought we were better tonight, and I thought the game was good for us because they're so different than everybody else the way they move the ball and cut.
What did you think of Caleb's performance? His first official game, and he was obviously out there at the end and played 26 minutes.
He rebounded the ball well. He only got a couple cracks at it in terms of shooting threes right there, but he did a good job. That's a hard game to play in for somebody of size guarding perimeter players, really, because we switched a lot. So he was on all their guys. We put him on their point guard some, who would take you into the post and play. He was a really good player. It was more of that defensive adjustment, and so keep kind of handling each schematic approach as you face different teams and just keep growing from it. But no, I thought he did a really good thing. He's going to have to learn to kind of to find his spots amongst other players. He's always been a guy that his high school team played around. Now he's kind of playing around them. It's a little bit of a role reversal until he gets into that role himself. But now learn to get runouts for points, learn to get on the offensive glass for points, learn to, when the ball gets into Travion Williams, dive and try to steal a basket. So just kind of picking up some nuances and some things in between everything to try to steal some points right there. But in terms of rebounding and defense, I thought he did some good things for us.
Looked like you got a really good game out of Ethan in a variety of roles tonight. What's the biggest difference in him this year?
Well, he's just, he's healthy, first of all. And I think, I always like it with your start. And I say this a lot about players. If you get off to a good start in your career, you build confidence through it. Sometimes it's hard to build confidence after you've had a year where you haven't gotten much of an opportunity. And now, it's just hard to feel good about yourself. So that's what's good about, starting off the season and playing and being healthy. And, he got steals, he got some rebounds, he got assists. He did a little bit of everything.
Matt, decision to redshirt Trey Kaufman and what went into that, and Until you get Mason back, is Ethan kind of the backup guy there?
Yeah, him and Sasha. Ethan more defending the four, Sasha more playing the four in terms of things that we run, because Sasha, knows our offense better than the coaches. And so Sasha really knows what's going on offensively in terms of, he does. He's really a good coach of the team. And that's what you want. And if you can keep people that stay 4 or 5 years, you end up getting that. You end up getting, those guys that really, really understand. But his was a 50-50 deal, in my opinion. The thing that was different for him is that he has a moving piece with Mason coming back. So we're not evaluating, like the status of the way it's just going to be. And so now in 4 games, now he comes back, and what does that look like? I can project and guess to the best of my ability, but I can't say it. I can tell you where we're at today. And so it was one of those things. How I normally do it with guys is you just weigh out the pros and the cons. But if they don't get to it and they absolutely need a red shirt, then I'm going to come and visit back with them and say, hey, I'm just telling you, you need to do this. With him, that wasn't the case. We would have supported him either way. And so sometimes making the best decision for yourself when you don't want to is really hard to do. Because you want to play. Who doesn't want to play? And it was very close. And obviously we have a loaded, front line right there. So I thought he made a really mature decision. But like I said, if he would have decided to play, I'd have supported. I wouldn't have talked him out of that. And he decided to do this, and I wasn't going to talk him out of that because it's close. This could go either way. He's one of those guys that could absolutely be out of the rotation, or in 2 to 3 weeks could start for us, or be the backup. He could be there, but we're struggling in some areas defensively, and we're struggling in some areas of just kind of knowledge of what's going on, because it's hard to pick up everything that we do. And now, as it comes back, Mason has a little bit of that, more of that experience. Obviously, Caleb has played well. You see the impact Travion can make in a game, and obviously Zach is a really tough cover. And so I was just trying to educate him to the best of my ability about the pros and the cons, and then, let him make that decision.
Is this something that came up recently, or is this been an ongoing thought?
No.
process?
I always wait until somebody plays in a scrimmage in an exhibition game, then I talk to them about it. I don't talk about it before because I don't want it to affect their play. I don't want them to start thinking about that stuff. I want them to concentrate. I want them to play well. You know what I mean? I want them to put themselves in a great position and stuff. And he's very mature. He's, he's one of the most mature 19-year-olds ever been around. And so he has goals, and he just felt like this gives him the best chance to achieve his goals.
Anything else?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.